Hey friends, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to my living room. I hope you've had a great week. For those who don't know me, my name is Jennifer Huber, also known as Solo Travel Girl, and I've been documenting my experience of using Mounjaro to manage my type 2 diabetes since June of 2022. Before I get into this week's update, and probably what's something you have all been waiting for, I just want to remind you about my disclaimer that I'm not a healthcare professional and I'm just sharing my personal experience and opinions about using Mounjaro to manage my type 2 diabetes. Also, I don't have any type of relationship with the drug manufacturer, Lilly, which means they are not paying me to make these videos. All right, let's get to it. And this week is going to be a little bit different. I have my laptop here with me. Yay! And I have finally put my thoughts together. So I'm going to share with you in a little bit the 5 things that I wish I knew about Mounjaro before using it. And those of you who may be thinking about going on Mounjaro, if your doctors talk to you about it, or maybe you're starting off early in this journey, hopefully this will help answer some questions for you by the questions that I wish that I knew. I guess you can say lessons learned. Maybe that'd be another post, lessons learned about Mounjaro. Anyway, I want to give you an update about this week. I just finished up week 34, and that's week 18 at the 10 milligram dose. And I didn't lose any weight this week, which I'm glad I didn't lose any weight. I'm still at 138, so that's amazing to me because that means my weight loss is 59 pounds since starting this journey in June of 2022. It's pretty incredible. You know, what you can see, I mentioned this lately in my posts, that what you see is the weight loss, but what you can't see is how Mounjaro is lowering my A1C. My dog's getting up. Hey, Red. Lowering my A1C. I had an A1C done in January and it was 6, and it was 8.2 when my doctor prescribed this to me. So that's pretty incredible. It has reversed my non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. I have lower blood pressure. I have lower cholesterol too, but I think a lot of that's part of the statin. But since I've been taking Mounjaro, I know my blood cholesterol seems to be lowering at a faster pace. So maybe that could be attributed to Mounjaro, but I think a lot of it is because this weight is gone, so that's going to affect everything else, right? Yeah. All right, so we talked about my weight, exercise. It's been another busy week, and I know I need to make better life choices. And I say this every week. I know you probably think I'm like stressed and frazzled all the time because I feel that way, but I'm really not, although February and March madness for a reason. But I had another 6-day work week, but yesterday it was fun stuff. My company was in a parade that we sponsored, and it was a lot of fun. I didn't get home until 1 o'clock this morning, but it was a nighttime parade, and our float looked awesome, but it was good. But yeah, my exercise was basically a lot of walking this week, whether it was with my dog or just in general for work, and I guess for work or walking my dog. I guess that's it. Glucose has been in the 90s and the low 100s. And nutrition, I want to mention, thank you, Bistro MD. They refunded me the box that I didn't order, but that I've been eating anyway. They refunded that to me, and I thought that was very nice. And I'm still enjoying those meals, and I know I need to post meals for my first box, but thank you, Bistro MD. If you're new here, Bistro MD, they prepare diabetic friendly meals where they have meals like for weight loss and that. And I'm always a person who says I'd eat better if I had someone cooking my meals for me or grabbing the bad snacks out of my hands. So this is almost as good as having someone prepare your meals for you. Basically is someone preparing your meals, because these meals are designed by a doctor and then they're chef prepared, and all basically you need to do is heat them up. So again, thank you, Bistro MD. Be sure you check them out, and no, they are not compensating me for these videos either. Let's see. Oh, I did post a video yesterday about Punchki Day, which is on Fat Tuesday. That's February 21st this year. Fat Tuesday is basically all-out indulgence before Ash Wednesday. And growing up in the Northeast in Buffalo, I never really heard of Fat Tuesday. I didn't hear Fat Tuesday until I was an adult and I moved out west and then down south. And basically, I learned of Fat Tuesday because it was, or it still is, like a daiquiri bar. That's my knowledge of Fat Tuesday. But I know what it is now. Big indulgence before Ash Wednesday and Lent. But Punchki Day, being from Buffalo, which is a big Polish community, we had punchkis, and basically they are a fried Polish donut filled with yumminess. There is a local donut shop near me called Yummy's Donuts and Barbecue, where they make the punchkis. They have them available before Fat Tuesday and then through Fat Tuesday. So I did pick some up this week, and I haven't eaten all of them. I did eat a couple bites of one, but the other ones I haven't eaten. And I picked up a vodka raspberry one. Basically, there's a little shot of vodka with it, and you squeeze that into the jelly. So I squeezed the jelly out yesterday thinking I would eat it last night or eat some of it last night, but I didn't. So maybe I'll have a bite of it before bed tonight. Maybe that'll help me sleep. I don't know. We'll see. But I know that's not necessarily something I should be having every day, but everything in moderation is okay in most cases. So giving myself that pass. And darn those Girl Scouts, it's Girl Scout cookie season. I did buy another box from some girls when I went shopping, but it's sitting in my freezer. And I got the tray foils, so I don't think those are so horrible, but maybe they are because they're like a butter cookie. Anyway, I've been still making my yogurt every week in my yogurt maker. I'm loving it, and then mixing it with the sugar-free strawberry jam that I made. And it's still strawberry pick season, U-pick season in Florida, and soon it's going to be blueberry U-pick season. And I love picking the blueberries as well. Last year, I think I went to 3 or 4 different groves. Excuse my dog there. And 2 of the groves that I went to, they're in Arcadia, which was hit really hard by the hurricane this past fall. So I hope they're going to be open this season. But anyway, I do have my eyes on at least one blueberry patch to go pick blueberries next month. I think I have a free weekend day in March. I don't know, March is busy. Anyway, moving right along. Oh, update on the biopsy saga. Oh my gosh. So last you knew that I dropped off the CD of images to the radiologist. And anyway, I guess Monday of this week they called me and said I can come pick them up, and I haven't picked them up. But then Tuesday they called me and they said they wanted to schedule an appointment. I'm like, wow, that was quick. And they said, well, but we need your images. I'm like, but you have my images. So they went and checked, and they said that they have my images. And long story short, I have a date on the books for March to get the biopsy on the nodule on my thyroid done. If you're new here or haven't been following along, before I was prescribed Mounjaro, the doctor she felt a lump on my thyroid. And I said, oh, was it a goiter? Like the Jerry Seinfeld goiter episode. And she said, well, yes. And she said that I should get a scan on it, an ultrasound. So fast forward, I had that done in December. And now finally I have a date on the books to have it biopsied, because it apparently did come up abnormal in the ultrasound. I'm staying off Google as much as possible, and I know a lot of you have gone through this same experience, and in most cases it's nothing to worry about, so it's better to be safe than sorry. So that's it for my wrap up for this week. So let me get into the 5 things that I wish I knew before taking Mounjaro. And these are like 5 main bullet points, and then there's other things that I wish that I knew. So maybe it's really 7 things I wish I knew, but we'll just stick to 5 things I wish I knew before taking Mounjaro. The first thing I wish I knew was the importance of changing nutrition and exercise habits right away. Now, sure, you can lose a lot of weight in a short period of time on Mounjaro, but you really need new habits down the road. You think of your body as a machine, and it needs to be fed and serviced properly, the right, if you're talking about a car, the right oils and stuff like that, the right fluids. And you really can't rely on this medication to be a miracle. You need to put some efforts into it. And I wish I really understood the importance of hydration and eating the proper roughage, like fruits and veggies, oatmeals and grains and that. When I realized how important it is, kind of after the fact, I'm still trying to do that. The hydration and the roughage has been vital for preventing constipation. Early on, I had horrible constipation. I mean, it felt like chunky rocks down there. It was horrible. And, I've used Colace, which help relieve things, but I like to do things as natural as possible. Sure, I'm using a medication to manage type 2 diabetes, but I just think it's more important to be more organic. And organic, I don't necessarily mean USDA certified organic, but just more natural. So hydrating and eating lots of fruits and veggies and oatmeal and grains when you're using Mounjaro, I think that's so important. Also for your skin elasticity, something that I am dealing with, and I think it's been getting better. I'm trying to drink more and just strength train more, is flabby skin. I know this doesn't look too horrible, but the other day I was in the car and I looked down at my arm and I'm like, where all those wrinkles come from? Or my thighs. There's a lot of loose skin down on my thighs. And I just think the hydration would have helped prevent some of that. We'll see. But, Mounjaro has a lot of side effects as well. The nauseousness, which I forgot to mention, but I did feel that this week. How can you combat that? Eating properly, but also avoiding things that are bad for you. High fat foods, high cheeses, fried things, high sugar, high carb, just staying away from all that. So understanding the importance of making a change in nutrition and exercise, I wish I understood that better. And I've met with a nutritionist before, and I really think anyone who is going to use Mounjaro knowing that you're going to lose weight or any other medication like that, I really recommend that you do speak to a nutritionist before beginning your journey, just so they can help guide you. Because as you're finding with Mounjaro, sometimes you don't want to eat, but you really need to eat. Your body needs that fuel. All right. So the number 2 thing that I wish I knew how to talk to a pharmacy or a pharmacist. I'm pretty easygoing, and if someone tells me something needs to be a one way or something, I'll go with the flow. But as many of you have commented, and I'm reminded that we need to be our own advocates when it comes to our health. Way back in the beginning when I was prescribed Mounjaro and I was given that $25 savings card, I wish I understood it better so that I could relay that to the pharmacy. My pharmacy of choice is CVS Pharmacy, and when I went to go fill my prescription in June of 22, they wouldn't fill it. They said it was too new and it wasn't in their system, and then they said they didn't know how to use the discount card as well. And they also said that my insurance didn't recognize it. So they're telling me all this stuff that they couldn't do, and then they told me to go to Publix to go get it filled, because they said Publix is pretty much on the forefront and they're into new medications and all that. That's my dog. Excuse me for a moment. All right. So where was I? How to talk to a pharmacist. Yeah, basically that CVS didn't know how to use the card. They sent me to Publix, and at the time, the savings card, and I finally understood it. It took me a little while to understand it, but basically the savings card you could use for one dose for $25 or get 3 months worth of doses for $25. I didn't quite understand that at first, but I do understand that. And I was getting 1 month doses because I was being prescribed, for instance, 5 milligrams, thinking I'd only be on that for a month because that's what the doctor said, and then going up to the next dose. So why would I get 3 months worth of 5 milligram if I was going to use only 1 month of that and then need to go up to the next higher dose? Well, I got up to 10 doses pretty fast, and that's going to lead me to one of my other points. But at the same time, my insurance company told me that I need to go to CVS if they wanted to me continue getting this at $25. So I went back to CVS, and even though my healthcare provider was calling in 3-month doses at the 10 milligram level, they were still only filling it at 1 month. So finally, and thanks to a lot of you, thanks to YouTube and other YouTube creators and commenters, I did finally talk to one of the supervisors in the pharmacy to explain the discount card and 3 months and stuff. So long story short, I wish I knew how to talk to a pharmacy better and understood the importance of being my own health advocate, because no one else is going to be doing that for me. All right, the third thing that I wish I knew, is I wish that I stuck to the same dose at least for 3 months before going up to the next dose, with the exception of the introductory 2.5 milligram dose. And I say that because I'm guessing that's the time that you would plateau. As one of the first patients that my doctor subscribed Mounjaro to, and as she understood it, that patients should level up on the next dosage after each month, whether you were seeing improvement in your A1C or your weight loss plateauing. She understood it, and that's what a lot of the interwebs say is to take 1 dose of Mounjaro for the month, and then you go up to the next dose. Even maybe you've dropped 10 pounds or so, that you should still go up to the next dose. But I really wish, and I wish I understood this more, that I wish I was at a dosage for at least 3 months, and hoping after that 3 months I plateaued and then go up to the next level. I don't have a logical reason as to why, but it just seems to make more sense. And I know some of you have commented on that your healthcare providers have recommended that course of action to you, is to go up to the next dose once you plateau. And, in that, I wish I knew whether I need to be on Mounjaro for an eternity, or if it was something just to get down to a certain A1C and then hop off of it. Now, when my doctor talked to me about it, it was her understanding that after a year, I probably won't need to be on it, but I don't think that's the case. Yes, I'm in a normal BMI now. My A1C is lower. But from what I'm reading, I have a feeling, and I think you all do too, if you're on Mounjaro, that this is something that we're committed for life on Mounjaro or something similar. And I also wish I understood better the potential risks. I mean, I know one of the risks is cancer, thyroid cancer. And, for the short term at least, I'm fine with taking this medication. But, for the long term, I'm not sure if I want to be on this medication for the rest of my life. I just need to weigh pros and cons. I have a friend who has been on Mounjaro. She started a couple months after I did. And I think she was prescribed it for weight loss, which is fine. But she's lost a significant amount of weight. She's on lower dosage than I am. However, she's thinking about going off of it, and her reason is she thinks that she's a sicker person being on it, even though she's thinner. She said she'd rather be fat and happy than thin and sick. So I don't think Mounjaro's been making me a sicker person, but everyone to their own. She's also a little bit older than me. So I just think that's interesting that she's making that correlation as to how she feels with a Mounjaro. The fourth thing that I wish I knew about Mounjaro before starting this journey is the cost. So what happens after the $25 health savings card discount card expires after a year? You all know that Mounjaro is about $900 to $1,200 out of pocket. I don't know if my insurance, what their copay is going to be. I know for Ozempic, it's a $125 copay. That's reasonable for me. Anything under $200 a month is going to be reasonable for me because I have a HSA that I can pull from. But I usually pick up the phone or go to my insurance website to see what the cost would be. I have other friends on this insurance, and their copay is about $70, which I think is awesome. But we'll see if my healthcare provider will let me be on this for beyond the year, because health insurance companies know better than you, right? That's facetious. No, they don't. Also associated with the cost of Mounjaro is redoing your wardrobe. Come on. Don't you find that? I mean, the last time I was this size, I was probably in elementary school. Like, maybe junior high and high school. But I think it was like a size 10 or 12 in high school. I don't remember ever being a size 8 before. So I'm having to buy just about, everything head to toe, with the exception of shoes, even though my shoes are they do feel looser. But it's expensive redoing your wardrobe, and I'm going to thrift stores and discount stores. But part of me is like, a year from now, you're going to be back at a 16, so why bother redoing your whole wardrobe? I need to have better confidence in myself, right? And that leads me to my fifth and final item, which is, I wish I understood body perception. After 3 months, I knew Mounjaro was a game changer, and I started not recognizing the person I was seeing in the mirror as I was walking past it or just looking at it first thing in the morning. And even now, almost 60 pounds gone, I still can't believe this is me. I still don't recognize my arms and my legs, and I know I've been saying this for months, but I wish I understood body perception and my body perception and other people's body perceptions of people's bodies, I guess, if that's appropriate. There's part of me that still has imposter syndrome with this, I guess you can call it that, or Cinderella syndrome. I just think that all of a sudden this is gonna end. Do I really deserve what I've become? Did I really earn having a normal body weight? In addition to adjusting how I'm looking, I'm also having to field questions I never thought I'd have to field questions about. People commenting about my body and the way that I look. And commenting to my face, which is fine. And if they're doing it behind my back, that's fine too. I don't care about that. But I get compliments about, you look so great, you look awesome, you look beautiful. What are you doing? How did you get that? Then there are other concerning ones. Are you okay? Are you sick? Some of these comments make me think, well, what did they think of me before? Did they think I was ugly or hideous before? And I haven't figured out a fun response to these questions. I guess I could say that, I was lost in the swamp for weeks, or I don't know, that I've been hitting the gym day and night for a year. But honestly, I've been telling the truth. I've been sharing the journey. I let them know that I'm a type 2 diabetic, and I've been so for about a decade. And that my A1C has been creeping up over the last few years. Let them know that I was prescribed this new medication in June. And it's been a game changer. it's really been a game changer. And what you can see is the weight loss, but what you can't see is how it's lowered my A1C, how it has reversed my non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, how my blood pressure is lower, how my cholesterol is lower. You see the outside, and I mentioned this to you all before, but what you can't see are all the good things that have been happening inside. So how do you respond to those questions when people say, oh, you look great. Oh, what are you doing? I'd like to have a fun response. And also, I know people mean it in a good way, and when you see someone who's made, if they were a larger person and now they're a smaller person, or if they changed something about themselves, I guess you think you're encouraging them, and by complimenting them, you're letting them know that, hey, you're doing great, keep it up. Maybe that's why people say that, and I know I am probably guilty of saying that to other people as well. I did tell my colleagues, I guess, because my colleagues, they work in offices elsewhere in the state, and my team, we get together. I mean, we get on video calls a few times a week, but we see each other in person maybe once a couple months or so. So before the CBS evening news story ran, I did let them all know about my journey and experience, because, I mean, YouTube's public, but I didn't want them watching the news and seeing me on there and not knowing about it. So just out of courtesy, I told them. And one of my coworkers, she said, well, I've noticed, but I just didn't think it was appropriate to ask because everyone has different things going on. So I thought that was very thoughtful of her not to ask, because I guess you can get into, I don't tie my self-worth to my dress size. And none of you should as well. But let's face it, if we're in smaller bodies now, it feels really good, and I can feel good about sticking with this, changing my nutrition, changing exercise, and just changing a lot of things in my life for the positive. Mounjaro has been part of this journey, and I don't know if I would have been able to get to where I am without this medication. But, because of this journey and stuff, and this is part of why I started this YouTube channel, or not, I didn't start the YouTube channel, but documenting this on YouTube, is I like helping other people and sharing my experiences. So, I've thought about different ways or different directions that I can go with that. And I have some ideas. They're not concrete ideas, but, down the road, I think my blogging is going to take a different direction, or influencing, whatever the kids are calling it these days. I guess it's not cool to be a blogger anymore, but it's cooler to be an influencer. I'm 50 some years old. I'm done being cool or trying to fit in. I just like to go and tread my own path. But anyway, this whole experience, I do want to help people on a different level. So we'll see what that looks like. I've signed up for like a healthy or mindful nutritional certification program. So I hope to get that done this summer. So we'll see where that takes me. But, what are the things that you wish you knew about Mounjaro before starting your journey? I'm sure there's something else that I'm missing. And I think there'll be another video down the road about things you should know or things I learned, but we'll see. But I will do this as a blog post as well, so you'll be able to reference it. I probably won't get it uploaded tonight, but sometime this week. But I hope you're doing well. I do appreciate you. Sorry I went rambling on again, but thanks for being here. And you are doing an amazing job with your journey and your experience. I know there's going to be some rough patches, but you can get through them. You've got this. So have a great Fat Tuesday. Have a great Pushki day. And I will catch you next week. Bye.